Safety and comfort are absolutely key when it comes to open water swimming. And if you're venturing into the open water for the very first time, then here is the essential kit you need. The wetsuit. Now this is obviously the biggest and probably the most expensive piece of equipment and kit that you're going to require for open water swimming, but easily the one that's going to make the biggest difference in terms of enjoyment, allowing you to stay in the water for longer, but also safety, because these actually help to improve your buoyancy in the water. Unless, of course, you live in a nice tropical area, climate, nice warm water, where you may not require a wetsuit. Now, of course, to get in the open water, you are allowed to wear whatever kind of wetsuit you want initially, just to go and experience it and find out what this amazing thing is all about. But once you've tried a swimming-specific wetsuit, like this one I'm wearing here now, there'll be no turning back. Then these are so much more flexible, particularly through the shoulders, and also more hydrophobic. I mean, you're going to slip through the water, it doesn't soak the water up as much. The only thing to be wary of is that these are thinner and slightly less durable, so do be careful as you put them on. Now, we are a little bit sport for choice when it comes to wetsuits these days. They can range from as little as £1 to £200, right through to your top-end wetsuits that can reach as much as or over £1,000 these days. But budget isn't your only consideration. Most brands these days will offer a range of different wetsuits to suit your different swimming styles, how you swim through the water, and your swimming ability. So go check those out. We actually have a couple of videos on our channel that go into depth about this, which you can check out and just figure out what is right for you. The second-hand market is also fantastic for wetsuits, particularly so if you're just getting into sport, want to try it out, see if it's for you, and also find out what wetsuit suits you best. A lot of swimming pools actually insist and require you to wear a swimming cap. But they take this up another level when you come to open water swimming venues, because they want to be able to see you, so they require you quite often to wear a brightly coloured swim cap, for safety, obviously. But this is just a good rule generally if you're swimming open water, regardless if you're at open water swimming venue. You want other water users to be able to see you nice and easily. So nice brightly coloured swim cap, and then on top of that, or I should say in addition to that, if you want to keep your head a little bit warmer, you can wear a neoprene cap like this. You can get some that are nicely brightly coloured. But if you've got a dark one like this, I would probably advise wearing your silica cap or bright coloured cap over the top of that, again, for safety. Okay, my final bit of safety equipment is a toe float. Now, these have become incredibly popular of late, and for a very good reason. Your brightly coloured swim cap is going to do a pretty good job of allowing you to be seen, but as soon as you're 100 metres offshore or there's any chop, it can actually still be quite hard to see you. And so a toe float is a really good idea, particularly if you're using active waterways with other people, particularly boats and things in the water. Get yourself a toe float. Added bonus of a toe float, often they have waterproof pockets in there so you can store and carry any essentials. Pretty cool. It is worth pointing out though, these aren't meant to be flotation devices. They will give you a bit of confidence when you're out there swimming, and of course you can hang on to them for a brief moment, but they aren't meant to be flotation devices. Right, I can imagine you're not going to forget a pair of these, but you've probably never given them that much thought, particularly just swimming in a swimming pool. But open water, you do need to consider differing light conditions. So here at Webster, we get some amazing sunrises and sunsets. And if you wear clear goggles, you can be absolutely blinded. So I pretty much always wear tinted goggles, and that should really be the case if you're swimming in anything quite bright, because you get the reflection off the surface of the water. You're going to struggle to see any buoys and where you're going. But in low light, obviously you want to go for slightly clearer goggles. So if you are getting serious, you're going to start doing some races, make sure you're going equipped with a couple of sets of goggles. Wetsuits do unfortunately have a tendency to rub, particularly around the back of the neck where the Velcro fastens, despite how well designed and fitted the suits are. Then add to that the salty seawater, that can really add to the friction and chafing. So adding some lubricant around the neck nice and generously, or any other areas like perhaps under the arms if you feel that might start rubbing, is a really good idea. It's normally easier to prevent the rubbing and chafing than it is to heal that. And then also you might want to consider adding a bit of sunblock or sun cream. Now that reflection of the rays off the surface of the water can really add to the intensity of that, so always a good idea. Also, if you're planning to brave the cold, or if, like me, you struggle or suck at swimming in anything remotely cold, you might want to invest in some additional layers like booties, gloves, neoprene skull cap like we mentioned already, or even other additional layers. I'd normally start and advise starting with the booties. These tend to affect your swimming the least. You've already got nice buoyant legs from the wetsuit, and so your legs kind of float along and you don't need to kick quite as much. So start with those. You then may want to go for some gloves just to keep your hands nice and warm. I would say these often feel a little bit cumbersome. You lose that feel for the water a little bit by wearing these. So make sure you're getting some that are nicely fitted. But if you do really struggle with the cold or you have a circulatory issue like Raynaud's, then I would say that warmth that you're going to get from them versus losing that feel for the water is well worth it. And then in addition to that, obviously we've spoken about the neoprene skull caps already. That can take away that kind of ice cream head feeling that you get and really make a big difference. But additional layers like a neoprene brace layer that you can go for sleeved or sleeveless, again, can really help and make a big difference. Okay, and finally, a few nice to have extras that will just make the open water experience that bit more enjoyable. So first off, some nice warm clothes. You might have arrived in a t-shirt, be nice and happy and warm, but when you get out after the swim, you could be surprised how cold you will be. So make sure you have something to chuck on, even if you don't actually need it. In fact, you might find you need it before because it's a bit breezy and cold. Next up, some flip-flops or something you can quickly slide onto your feet post-swim. It's amazing how painful it is to walk across gravel with cold feet post-swim. So yeah, have those ready by the side of the water so you can jump into post-swim. Next up, a nice warm drink. If you can bring one with you ready to go post-swim, well, A, it's just going to help rehydrate you, but also might just help get your core temperature up to nice, happy levels again. And then finally, a bag that you can shove all your wet gear into, preferably waterproof. I don't think I need to explain this one that much more than that, but no one wants a wet boot of their car, do they? There we go, there's your essential kit for your first or some of your future open water swims. It's on screen right now. Take a screen grab or write it down so you're ready to go next time. It's not that extensive. In fact, these are all things that I take to every single open water swim, and it means that I enjoy open water swimming on the most part, unless it's really, really, really cold. Now, first things first though, before you get into the open water, make sure that you tell someone on shore where you're going, what you're planning to do, and then the fun can follow. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please do give it a thumbs up, give it a like. See you next time.